The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 14th day of February 2023. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, and Lindo's. I'm Jamal Hartman. He's Larry Marshall Jr., and Tamara McHale will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Happy Tuesday, my brother.
Happy Tuesday, my brother. Happy Love Day. So you got your red one today.
It definitely ain't had nothing to do with that. I actually didn't even, you know what? I should go change my damn shirt.
Yeah, your boy audience is acting like he ain't about that, but he knew this is about that. Maybe his wife picked out his clothes for him.
Yeah, I hope all yours chocolates melt. That's what I said. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna start treating Valentine's like I treat Halloween. Day after, go and get some chocolates on discount or something. You know. Yeah, happy Love Day to all you lovebirds who celebrate the day, though. Yeah, I honestly did. It did slip my mind.
Don't worry. I saw you. I said, I'm not going to tell him because I knew you would have changed your shirt.
Yeah, I would have. I'm not no symbol of commercialized love. You know how I feel, folks. No, the pressure's on every other day of the year, though. You know, the pressure's on. You gotta show up. If not, well, what was all that you said on Valentine's Day? Yeah.
Sure.
It happens. Anyway, greetings everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Tallent Clark. We're talking rugged rentals, and if you've been paying attention, you know, tourism's always a big topic of conversation, things, offerings. It wasn't long ago when I was working for Bermuda Tourism, and a big conversation is, you know, you can only rent mopeds, right? That was one of the big things. And it was a hindrance because people didn't feel mopeds were safe in Bermuda and so on. And then you had the electric vehicles. And now, you know, I like the idea that we're going to be discussing today, long-term rentals. So it's not just visitors, but locals alike. There are people who come down there on contracts. You've got the digital nomads who probably won't be going away. You've got people who are there for a time period that may actually say, you know what, I don't want to purchase a vehicle. Let me just get myself a long-term rental. So some options for Bermudians, and looking forward to the conversation with Mr. Clark. The daily play is a remember when, and folks, if you've been paying attention, this I'm actually upset about today's question and answer. I'll say that much. I'm upset because I didn't know. It's upsetting, and it's more to my point of why I'm against the idea of Black History Month. I've never been a fan of Black History Month for Bermuda. Like, look, half and half, right? I say it all the time. Half of my life in Bermuda, half in the U.S. I don't know why Bermuda copies everything the U.S. does. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like, your majority Black country, act like one.
Mm-hmm.
Act like one, seriously. And today's answer to the daily play will just, it bothers me because of the fact that because we wait to celebrate a month, you know, there's corporate social responsibility, there's ticking boxes and crap, then we find things like this out. Anyway, if you haven't already, make sure you're,
It got me curious.
Yeah. No, you'll know it. You know, if you haven't already, make sure you register to become a member of TDH community. Folks, just fill out the application on our website or hit join on our YouTube channel. We're doing some fun things starting this weekend, and I think an email went out last night. So you want to come hang out with us, make a difference in our community. And based on our discussion this morning, our community can benefit from all of us right now. Every last one of us. I'm sure Tamara McHale uh, will be sharing more in her news break. But right now, just really want to send condolences to the family of the young man lost yesterday. And again, we continue to do this. We don't want to do it, but it's just I just remember the reaction in 2003, Shonda Jones, 2009, Kim Bundy, and the others that followed him that year. To now, it's like it's almost a way of life, right?
Yeah.
It, it's
The reaction just was, oh, that happened? Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it's a completely different reaction, and can't say, to many people they saw this day coming when, oh, it's just another black life, it's just it doesn't impact them per se. But a question of the morning is just more on a broad sense. It's a very broad question, and if you don't tackle something when you see it, it has a chance of becoming bigger. So the question of the morning is very simple and very direct, and it impacts us all. And this could be anything from violence to all of us use the roads, whether we operate a vehicle or are passengers in a vehicle. This could be just being in the safety of our homes. But what can we do to make Bermuda safer? Like, and the we is the community. This is not on the government. This is not on government departments like the you know national security or the police or customs. Anyone. This is on each and every one of us as individuals. What can we do to make Bermuda safer? What can we do to make Bermuda a safer place? What can we do to make Bermuda a safer place? Very direct.
It's unfortunate because I think obviously we have these conversations after event like yesterday comes to fruition or a road fatality.
Mhm.
And I'll be honest, I'm stumped. I'm just, my brain is just so tired of kind of having these discussions. I don't think it's one right answer. I don't think it's one right solution. I don't think it's one problem that if we tackle that, then it all goes away. But what do we do? You know what I mean? I think when we first heard of an incident, I don't know how you are. The first thing I think of is okay, age. If it's closer to my age, did I go to school with them? Well, okay, the first one's family. Is there anybody in my family who is going like that? And then once, if you're, you automatically think younger people. If you're in your 20s, from 18 in your 20s, I've either taught them
Mm,
or know someone who's taught them. And
mm,
then you start thinking, oh, man, from different emotions. I could see this coming. He had a troubled life, or
mm,
she, you know what I mean? Oh man, they was doing so well. Or life got like you
mm,
just have a whole bunch of different emotions.
mm,
How do we make it safe? To answer the question, I think two things. We one have to personalize it,
mhm,
and obviously one do your part, and then two really recognize it as a community issue. You and I have spoke on this show a while back, and extensively on so many people feel that it's not connected to them, so they don't have to worry about it. And
mm,
I think until every single person in the community has a reaction of I need to tackle it, what can we do better, rather than just saying, hey, well, my child will go over there, or it's in Paget, so what her. I mean, we even heard one what was the former premier talked about the gated communities, like that will solve everything.
mm,
And since then, the violence has gotten worse, and we are desensitized.
mm,
So I think I'm welcome to all suggestions, everything, because at the end of the day, we don't want to be against someone's answer because we feel that it's wrong. We just want the issue and the problem to kind of be resolved. And it seems almost like it's just so defeating, or like it can it really change. But I think we need to one look within self and then embrace community as a whole.
Well, let's go to Instagram because we did ask the question, what can the community do to make Bermuda safer? And some of the responses is we got gunshot detection system with automated drone response, CCTV that actually works. I think
Okay.
they did that in, I want to say New Bedford, Massachusetts was the first place I saw that done, and it actually, yeah, it helped. Um,
I've never heard of that, but I guess I'll read up on
Yeah,
that.
I'll see if I can find an article. It was New Bedford, Massachusetts. It was, yeah, where they used it. What can the community do to make Bermuda safer? Again, these are Instagram responses from Instagram. Spare the rod and spoil the child. We have one says, don't drive drunk. Well, being under the influence does impact people's behaviors, right? Another one says, look out for neighbors and check on elderly neighbors. Well, looking out for one another, that's one way to look at it, right? Look out for one another. Look out for your fellow being, right? Your fellow man, fellow woman. Look out for each other. What can the community do to make Bermuda safer? Well, this one pretty much is very direct, says leave. So if everyone left, Bermuda would be safer. Well, I mean, if there was no one there, there would be nothing happening, right? So another
Yeah.
response says, stop the no snitching nonsense. Fact, criminals tell on each other to catch breaks. So those are your responses from Instagram. You can go on Instagram stories and you can see the responses. But the question of the morning, folks, is how can we make Bermuda a safer place? And the audience is chiming in. We have Karen Simmons. She says, can we get back to being each other's keeper, support others, connect and develop meaningful relationships? Marcia Robin Patrice Bradshaw says, love oneself, feel worthy, and be able to ask for and accept help whenever possible. And Ebony Souza says, more neighborhood watch groups, parents taking a firmer hand in raising their kids. The village needs to work on their communication. People just need to be sick and tired. We feign that well. And I mean, every situation is different, right?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's a one size fits all. When we look at community and the issues that we face as a community, you know, how Larry and his wife choose to raise their son may be very different from how someone else raises their daughter. It can depend on, it could be religious background, it could be educational background, what they deem the best education for them. But I think the overall goal remains the same, right? To raise a productive citizen in the community. Yeah.
Yeah. I I I I, I have issue with my community piece. I have issue with
Hmm.
because I think everybody wants to remain comfortable, right?
Hmm.
If you're involved in illegal activity, you're comfortable in Bermuda. The community doesn't want to take a stance and say, "Hey, you're doing that foolishness. That's contributing to a lot of the antisocial behavior that's happening in Bermuda. Don't come around here.
Hmm.
No, you're not coming to my party. No, when you come, I'm leaving."
Hmm.
I think it's a level of comfort that everyone wants to have.
Hmm.
I myself include, yeah, I'm at school with that guy. Yes, bruh, it's cool. And I'm not saying, hey, you cut them off from society, but I think it's just a level of comfort that everyone wants to have, and it's just not not helpful. And I think the community has to really take a stance and say, no, this is nonsense, this is foolishness, and you're a part of it. And I love you. You know, we as a community hope that things change and you ain't gotta take these steps on that path. But right now, I'm gonna put you to the side because you're not helping this problem that is damning and damaging to the community.
Yeah, you make a lot of sense because for years, so let's say, and this I'm glad you said that because you have businesses that are struggling to stay open. It could be a restaurant or a bar, and to them, it's money coming in if they let certain people into this as their establishments. It's like, look, well, we need the money. You know, um, I was meeting with a CEO back in December, and we had this conversation. Said, think about those who may open up you know a nightclub or a bar, and it's geared towards older people, right? Older people who want some music from the 80s and early 90s, right? Said Well, people who enjoy that music, they're not going out every week,
Yeah,
right? And so now that person who opens the bar has to now start allowing other things to take place there to make money. And there you have the antisocial. Now the whole establishment has a different reputation, right? So there, what you just said matters. Now it could be one of the local sports clubs, right? They may
yeah,
be, look, we know a lot of the local sports clubs rely on their bar, right? Well, we know who the antisocial behavior, who's bringing the antisocial behavior. But like you just said, we went to school with him, or his my godson's best friend, and you
yeah,
give these passes, and folks, this is a community problem because
yeah,
again, just because you know this individual, just because they may be your friend's godson or someone's nephew, you still are playing a key role in that antisocial behavior that they may partake in. So the question is, what do we do as a community? How do we make, we always spoke about making people uncomfortable.
yeah,
Someone said drunk driving in the response on Instagram, right? Well, unless they're drinking at home, there's a responsibility of the establishment that's selling the alcohol to these people.
yeah,
Take some accountability for what you're helping, whether, on purpose or not.
yeah.
Or we have
I
a community problem.
Yeah. Someone said to me a few years ago, it says the community is not serious. And they went on to say, Bermuda is one of the only places that I've been that the middle class wants to go into the undesirable places to party. It's
Mm,
like you've never seen. It's like you get away from those types of things. You go to upper clubs and you go to these, and you have people that are involved in other stuff trying to come to that establishment, or they keep it in their own. So like in Bermuda, you have upper or middle class, and blacks. You said middle class blacks looking to go to the party to try and fit in with the gangsters or the you know what I mean, or different people, and
mm,
it made me think, and I was like, at the time I was going out regularly,
mm,
and I was like, yeah, I couldn't argue with that point.
mm, mm. How can,
Everyone's comfortable.
how can we make Bermuda a safer place? That's the question, folks. What are your thoughts? How can we make Bermuda a safer place? Michael Daniel says, we need to be real. We need to be real, recognize our natural instincts as humans and approach the problem from there. Well, speak to us, Michael Daniels. Don't make people guess. What do you mean? Give an actual example. Give an actual example of what you mean by, you know, um, our natural instincts as humans and approach the problem from there. What is an example? We're here to be very direct and have a conversation. No need to keep anyone in the audience guessing. What do you actually mean? If you can be more direct. I don't want to assume what you mean.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
in that
That's
to assume. I think this is a conversation where we need to be honest. We need to be direct. You mentioned being real. We need to be real. That's the whole purpose of this platform, is that we can have conversations without hiding behind pen names. We can be honest. We can, challenge each other, and hopefully by the end of these conversations, we actually are closer to solutions. Right? We're closer to solutions. How do you believe we can make Bermuda a safer place, folks? We have a lot to say about tourism. We have a lot to say about things we can do for the economy. But what can we do to keep you and your family safer? What can be done? What can we do? I mean, is it as simple as everyone having a surveillance on their house? Is it as deep as having surveillance on their vehicle? I mean, like, what needs to be done? How can we
yeah,
do it?
and
Is that not proactive enough?
yeah. I think those are short term fixes. I think as Mark Arthur C. Phillips, families are broken. We need to focus on healing our homes, and I think eventually that long-term approach on dealing with the breakdown of the family and those situations is gonna eventually have to be dealt with.
Yeah, and to his credit, former lawyer Eugene Johnston used to always say this, and he used to get labeled a term, right? When he would say that, the breakdown of the family unit. People always want to go with their liberal feelings in that and act as if it's something bad about it. No, you can't deny that fact that things have changed from that. So, again, I appreciate what Mark said. Canton Trotz says, as Larry said, we have to get serious. We need to have difficult conversations and hold people to account.
Yeah.
Accountability. Accountability means your parents, children, siblings, right?
Politicians,
Right? It can mean best friends. It can mean your
businesses,
employer, your employees, right? Businesses, organizations. It could be your favorite hangout spot. It could be your sports club.
Yeah.
Karen Simmons says, as an older female, I'm feeling more unsafe standing up and speaking out to people who are aggressive and disrespectful. And we didn't get here overnight.
Correct.
We didn't get here overnight. There are things that led to people being more aggressive and not respecting, maybe outers or people in positions of authority that they once respected. I don't think that, and I've said this on the show, I don't believe in respecting someone just because they're older. You have a lot of older people doing a lot of nonsense, right? And to me, they're not to be respected. But if someone is giving you and showing you nothing but respect and you're not giving it back, there's a problem.
Yeah, and I think you it's difficult because we want people to kind of be in a level where we show love and we want to embrace, but at what point is that hard line drawn? And I think that line is like, if it was a child and they was hanging around certain people, hey, don't know good for you, that line's drawn. You need to stop doing what you got to do. But as a community and adults, we want to flirt around and skate around and say, hey, we're doing this. And folks, I'm not saying that I am the example and I know exactly what it is and it's easy. I'm not saying that. But as a community, at what point are we going to draw this line?
It's got to come at some point. Canton Trotz says it's so easy to sweep it under the rug. Every single person in my generation has been affected by violence in one way or another. He goes on to say there's an element of fear, but if 10,000 of us come together, the small minority causing issues will realize we are not tolerating it any longer. I remember saying years ago, I think I was at Hot 107.5, and I said, the police back then said it's only 300 to 400 people, if I'm not mistaken, right? And I just said to myself, I'm like, well, that's it. And if we said our population was 60,000, I mean, it's a numbers game at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, folks.
Yeah.
We're not in
it's very frustrating. It's very deflating. I have to work myself up to Jamal would tell you, I was trying to talk about every and anything else other than this. But at the reality, we have to do what's right for the community, and this is something we have to talk about. But it's deflating, man. Like we're just tired of these types of things.
Yeah. Mark Arthur C. Phillips says we need to stop thinking that it's someone else's problem and take ownership. And Michael Daniels says our first instinct is to see ourselves as separate from everyone else and to fear them. And thank you for that, Michael Daniels. Thank you for being direct. And this is why we say it's our problem. It's our community problem. These are people. They are us, and we are them. And we should not fear, fellow humans. So I get you, appreciate you. Let's bring in Tamara McHale for the news break. After that, we do have Tallent Clark coming on. We're talking about long-term rentals. Very interesting conversation, and I think one that can contribute. I mean, to me, things like this help create opportunities for Bermudians, jobs for Bermudians, just different experiences for Bermudians and visitors alike. So stick with us. After the news break, Tallent Clark will be on the show.
Good morning, everyone.
Greetings. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm good. I'm here. Am I echoing?
Unfortunately, you are.
Not sure why.
We'll talk about that later. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Oh, you
I'm
got
in my
red
red
on.
as you are. Notice you're in your red as well.
Yeah, don't
Happy
remind me.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Valentine's Day.
yeah. Hope your chocolates melt. Yeah, yeah. Um, you guys start trouble around. Lady in red. So yeah, we've got some things going on in Bermuda, unfortunately, but I'm sure you'll give us more details this morning about
Definitely.
what's popping.
All right, so this is the Daily Hour News Break for today, of course, Tuesday, February 14, brought to you by the People's Pharmacy. So, of course, you had been discussing this earlier regarding the not so good news about the first murder of 2023. And unfortunately, the police say they have launched a murder investigation of the after the body of the young man was found in the Friswell's Hill area. So, a spokesman spoke yesterday at a press conference, and here is a quick clip of what the police had to say.
Now launch a murder investigation into the circumstances surrounding the discovery of the male's body. We do believe, based upon our inquiries conducted so far, that area residents, in particular, last night might have heard gunshots in this particular area. We are specifically appealing today to the members of our community and those that live in this neighborhood and the surrounding neighborhoods that if you heard any gunshots last night, early hours of this morning, or if you have seen any suspicious activity, whether they're motorcycles or persons congregating, we're appealing today and asking that you make contact with us so that we can advance this investigation and get to the complete circumstances surrounding the discovery of the male body.
This sounds so cliche, right? It sounds so cliche. You know, when what I'm like about to say, but if you know something, say something, or if you see something, say something. I know it sounds cliche, but truthfully, that's the break that we need, the community needs, right? Asking people if they heard, you know, we're so ingrained in our own lives, right, that we may have heard something and we're so focused on what we're doing. Think about it. Sunday night, what was everyone doing?
Super Bowl.
There you go. So if everyone's watching the Super Bowl, it's one of those things when you're so focused on something, you hear and you don't hear. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's sad, and like I said, I can only repeat. You know, if you know something, say something. I mean, no one's safe with anybody in a community who's willing to take the life of someone else. Just saying.
Yeah, that is, and it's so unfortunate. All right, so in some other news, Minister of Transport Wayne Furbert held a press conference yesterday, Monday, regarding ferry routes, where he announced that the Pink route will have increased service and hours and operation to commence that on March 6th of this year. So currently the schedule is commuters based only and only provides services during the morning rush hour. So he says that to accommodate the request from the riding public, the minister said the new Pink route schedule will now include the following: operate 10 runs per day from Monday to Saturday. 4 runs have been added to cover late morning to noonday. The Saturday service was added at the request of the riding public. And with the new budget coming on board, the ministry will also add on Sundays, and it will also review the demand to determine if additional runs will be added to the summer schedule.
You all see Michael Fay in the background there? Like, audience, you see Michael Fay in the background?
I didn't catch.
I said to you, I said, oh, that's Michael Fay right there in that blue thing, right? Back there. That's him. But here's the crazy thing. And I'm gonna say this. Being a white person in Bermuda, you can go unnoticed and unrecognized regardless of how you've treated Black Bermudians. Do you know, yesterday I shared that with people. I was like, Michael Fay there? Is that him? People don't even recognize. This guy could walk the streets and no one recognize him. Try being black and doing some things to Bermudians and getting on the bad side and see if you're going to be able to walk unnoticed. That guy, man, I don't like, you all know I don't like him. So anyway, sorry to point that out.
What politicians do you like?
I actually like William Furbert. I like Diallo Rabin. I don't mind that. I don't mind Tanae Furbert. I actually like quite a few politicians. I don't mind Michael Dunkley, right? So there's quite a few I'm cool. I'm cool with. I don't mind. But no, I don't like the Michael. I
hate all of the politics. That's what it is.
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
How do you pronounce his name, by the way? I think I said it wrong.
Who?
The transport minister.
Van Furbert?
Oh, okay.
We're talking about Michael Fay. He was a former minister back when. Mike, that guy. Yeah.
All right. And in a bit of Bermuda sport, the island's under 17 footballers say that they are determined that they can achieve what none of the island's other national teams have done before, which is to qualify for a World Cup men's squad. So they flew out to Miami yesterday morning in advance of the CONCACAF Championships in Guatemala, which starts on Saturday. So they say that they're looking forward to the matchup and hoping for the best.
Let's go, fellas, and let's kick some Jamaican butt if you're playing them too. That's right.
This group of young guys are tipped to be one of the better cohorts that we have. So, best of luck to them and best of luck to the coaches.
Yeah.
That's awesome. To some other regional news quickly, the Grenada government yesterday on Monday said that it would be deporting 15 Haitian nationals who entered the island illegally on a tourist group on Sunday because according to them, immigration has determined that would be a burden to public purse. So according to the Prime Minister, Dickon Mitchell, he's also the Minister for National Security and Immigration, he told the press conference that the French-speaking nationals had arrived in Grenada on a flight from the neighboring Trinidad and Tobago. And he acknowledged that the political and economic situation in Haiti will be discussed at a 3-day CARICOM summit to be held in the Bahamas from Wednesday.
It's a hope of mine that one day we cannot kick our sister and brother islands from our islands and instead find ways to work with them so that economically all of us can be on equal footing. I just don't, I don't know, something about it bothers me. Haitians, Jamaicans, Bajans, Grenadans, Bermudians, we're all really one people, folks.
True.
But, hey, anyway.
Yeah. And finally, on a lighter note, it's of course the Love Day. But in Trinidad and Tobago, vendors and some store owners in Port of Spain, the capital, are lamenting that sales for Valentine's Day were not as robust as they wanted it to be. But flower shop owners experienced an uptick in sales. So the Trinidad Express newspaper said that they visited some shops yesterday and some vendors were pretty much saying that this is the worst Valentine's Day they have experienced and the sales are really low because of the economy. But as I mentioned, the only one that they said were doing well was for the flowers. So I'm not sure what the sales are like in Bermuda for Valentine's Day.
Fellas, you just got your excuse. Inflation. You couldn't get the flowers and chocolates this year because of inflation. Let me write that down.
Oh my God, Larry, I'm sure you're gonna buy something for your wife, right?
You just heard the excuse. Inflation.
I will not be taking anything Jamal says seriously.
Hey, look,
I do my part. I do my part every day. That's all I'll say.
The coach, bro. It's only the coach. Don't worry.
Don't let Camille mash up in a relationship.
I remember that. What's the weather looking like on Love Day?
So in Bermuda, the skies are set to brighten after some early cloudy spells at times with a few early bluster of showers, but things are set to brighten later on in the day. And here in Jamaica this morning, partly cloudy across northern parishes, but mainly sunny elsewhere, including Kingston, Jamaica.
All righty.
Do you have anything for Florida? They tell me it's a little nippy in Florida.
Right now. No, I didn't check Florida, but Jamil should know.
I think he needs a little jacket when he goes outside. Right?
Yeah, I was freezing him. I had all of the like I had a sweatsuit on, like it was a tracksuit. It was 54. 54 this morning, and it weren't good. This is not the kind of weather that you moved to South Florida for. Haters are gonna hate, but whatever. What day is it? What's the day of the year?
What do you think the day of the year is today in your bright red?
Valentine's Day.
It had to be Valentine's Day, love and romance, candy and flowers, cards and gifts, dinner and dancing. Love day.
Jamel's face.
Hey, look, I'm gonna
Commercialize it.
I'm gonna get some discount chocolates tomorrow. So that's the big takeaway. Tomorrow, you enjoy your love day. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Folks, if you appreciated this morning's news break conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. I don't know what these eyes are about, but we're gonna leave that alone. Folks, taking a quick break. Do not go anywhere. Tallent Clark's joining us. We're talking rugged rentals. Again, something that Bermuda, for years, it has impacted us in terms of a tourist product. It has. We can't deny that. But he's here. He's going to discuss what they're up to and, how we can partake in getting a long-term rental. Stick with us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Welcome back to the Big Show. Larry Marshall Jr. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, make sure, I don't know how many times I have to tell you, but register to become a member of the TDH community. You can do that by just going on our website and registering there, or you can just hit the join button on our YouTube channel and you will be a part of the TDH community. You don't want to miss some of the stuff that we have coming up. Pretty cool. So check it out there. Without further ado, let's bring our guest for the day. We've got Tallent. He's come from Rugged Rentals. Give him a warm TDH welcome, folks.
Morning, gentlemen.
Welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
Great. And yourself?
Well, they keep telling me it's Love Day and all this stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, you came fully prepared in your dress. I understand.
Oh my goodness! See how you doing? If there was ever a coincidence, I legit was looking for a long sleeve pillow. I was looking for something warm because it's so cold, and yeah, I guess this is why I gotta get like Sancha. I gotta start preparing the night before, right?
Surely, mobile advertisement. It's cool.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, thank you for doing this. You're usually in the audience and on social media supporting what we do on this show. But just tell us a bit about your background and what it is you do for those who may not know.
Sure. So I am the managing director of Rugged Rentals. We've been in operations since 2019. And for all those that always say, oh yeah, you're the Hummer guy, right? Yes, we were the Hummer people. We had the electric Hummers, but now we've moved on to a new car we call the Gem. And yeah, we're here to promote our long-term rental opportunity until at least the end of March. We're just doing a pilot program to see how well it's going.
You still have the Hummers though, right?
No hablo Hummer.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? So you said you started 2019. As I stated earlier before you came on, one of the and people may not think this, but one of the challenges I had when I was working in the Bermuda tourism space was people were very concerned that they couldn't, rent anything outside of a moped and a small Boston Whaler if they wanted to go out. How important do you believe, rugged rentals is to, not just Bermuda tourism, but Bermuda, like Europe?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So just to give people some background as well, I was a part of lobbying government to change the law, right? And it took 7 years for us to get the law changed. Now, the reason why we were going to the government trying to get this law changed is because at that time, we were averaging 1 death a year on mopeds from visitors. 1 death too many, I say, but we were averaging 1 death a year, right? So that was 7 deaths throughout those 7 years. And so, we needed something safer to provide our visitors with, because not only if they don't ride a motorcycle at home, then, that's one thing, but then they're also learning how to navigate on the left-hand side of the road. And so we thought that, why not have vehicles, cars, to provide our visitors with? And so, we were going through every single government department and permanent secretary to try and listen to us. And we have this great idea. And, finally it was passed in December 2016. But it came with a caveat of only being 2-seaters. And so our thought was, well, they wanted to kind of protect a few industries, be it taxis and the motorcycle or moped industry. And they only allowed us to rent 2-seater vehicles. And for anybody that is looking for a car, it is, and it was so difficult to find 2-seater cars only. So yeah, and here we are, so many years later, and it's actually more profound now to be able to find 2-seater cars.
I'm still stuck on 7 years to lobby government. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bert.
Yeah. You guys are offering, as we touched on, long-term rentals. Mm-hmm. How does this differ from what you guys currently offer?
Sure. So it started with us. It started with customers actually coming to us and saying, "Hey, I'm here for a month, and we are looking for transportation for that month." And so, of course, me being a businessman, I was like, "Yeah, just rent us for a month." But it was expensive, right? Almost $4,000 a month to rent on our regular pricing schedule. So with more people coming to us, we made the decision to offer a long-term rental program. We have doctors that come in for a month. We have those in the insurance industry that only come to Bermuda for a month. We have digital nomads that are here for longer than a month, but less than a year. Right. So we thought it'd be, great to offer something. And then that's where we came up with the 30, 60, and 90-day rates. Right. So $95 a day, $85 a day, or $75 a day for 30, 60, or 90 days. Now that's inclusive of collision damage waiver. Right. So to give people an idea of our regular pricing, that's a 50% discount on 30 days, or a 55% discount on 60 days, or a 60% discount on 90 days. And so, there is value there. Now, people were like, oh, we have to rent 30, 60, or 90. No, you can rent 31 days and get the $85 rate. right? So there is some leeway with regards to pricing structure and the amount of days that you can rent it for.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. Before you say it, I saw a lot of positives, but what is the upside of longer rentals for the electric vehicles?
Well, the upside is safety. I mean, I'm trying to get people off of mopeds, so like I began with, right? And the beautiful thing is, our cars, they can plug in directly to your house outlet. Now, people's like, oh, Belco. Trust me, we all know Belco. And it'll be my last effort is to increase anybody's Belco bill. However, with our cars, they have 150-kilometer range, right? And so when I was testing the cars last year when they first entered the island, I was literally, going from home to work. I'll pick up my daughter and work. So I'll go from St. George's to work. Then on my way back home, stop at the grocery store, and then I'll go home. And after that, that is literally all you do. Or now, unless you're going to your auntie's house or your friend's house or wherever, you're really only doing straight line transport. Home, work, school, grocery store, back home. That's really all you're doing. And so what I found when I was testing the vehicle is I was only needed to charge the car maybe every third or fourth day. Now, the great thing about these cars is we had an electrical engineer rent one, literally our very first customer for these cars. It wasn't planned, I promise you. But he was like, when he returned the car, he was like, TJ, so I did the math. And this is before I even know he was an electrical engineer. I did the math. I said, did the math on what? He said, well, I'm an electrical engineer and did the math. And if you charge your car every single day from 0 to 100%. Now remember, you're not doing 0 to 100% every day. He said it will cost you maybe $3.65 to $3.75 on the current Belco rate. So I said, okay. So then if you're charging the car, let's say every third day, now that's 10 times a month. Times that by 375, you're looking at $37.50. Let's say $40 a month to charge the car. How much are you paying in gas?
Yeah.
Right. So go ahead.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, when you said 150,000 kilometers, that the 10K is, you can do that 15 times from the the international race weekend. If you've done a 10K, you can do that 15 times. And I mean, how many times are we driving around left, right, and center? That gives you, that's exactly. You're saying 3 days. 3 days is conservative. 3 days is extensive. Sorry.
Exactly. So how we position it to visitors is when they're picking up a car from St. George's, we're saying, look, it's best to charge overnight every night, obviously, because when you're a visitor to an island, you're trying to go every single place and you're trying to see every single thing, right? So you're going from St. George's, you might go straight Dockyard, and I tell them from Dockyard to St. George's to Dockyard is 40 kilometers, right? So you do that twice, that's 80 kilometers. You still have 70 kilometers left on your battery. Right. So you don't necessarily have to charge when you get back to the hotel. You can leave the car and then go to dinner after, you're getting ready or you're resting or whatever. And then after dinner, go back to the hotel and charge. That way you're fully charged when you wake up and you don't have to worry about charging during the day. That's why we don't have a network of charging stations throughout the island, because of the battery range that we have.
Okay. Folks, if you have any questions or comments, please send them through. We'll get through as many as we can. Go ahead, Bert.
Yeah, obviously this has been a progression. After the 7 years of lobbying and all of that type of situation, to where we are now, the 2-seaters, you're getting a variation. Different companies are coming up with stuff. Looking forward, full-time ownership. What does that look like? Is that a possibility? Is that in your plans anytime in the future?
Definitely in the plans. To be honest with you, we want to push electric vehicles 100%, and especially with the announcement that the government made that they want to have electric vehicles by 2035, I believe. We definitely think that it is an opportunity to take advantage of. Now, with electric vehicles, costs should be less. There is less maintenance when it comes to electric vehicles. Yes, you still have to change tires or rotate tires. Yes, you still have to do, the monitoring the wiper fluid level or the brake fluid level. But as far as doing oil changes or checking spark plugs or ignitions or your transmission, there's no such thing, right? So we don't have all that in an electric vehicle. And so maintenance costs should be far less than a regular vehicle. On top of that, it should cost much less to get to the island. Now, there is right now currently 0% on electric vehicles. And with that in mind, people should take that into consideration because it's valuable, right? We don't know how long that's going to last for, but take that into consideration when looking or going to buy a car. And just with regards to us specifically, we're in the hopes of potentially selling electric vehicles.
Well, I think you just mentioned it, and before you go, I wanted to touch on the government recently saying they hope to move towards that. Would you say that you guys are probably ahead of your time, and you're really looking forward to entering the car selling market, or is this your specialty that you're looking to stay in long term?
Nothing's ever long term when it comes to being in business, right? We're always looking for the next. I wouldn't say next best thing, but the next thing, right? And so absolutely, we think we're ahead of our time because we have technicians that solely deal with electric vehicles, right? So again, I can't say too much more on our future potential, but absolutely, we look forward to what's to come, and think that we are definitely ahead of our times considering the industry that we're in.
Spoken like a true entrepreneur. Karen Simmons is asking, what is the age for rental, and is it scaled higher price for the younger you are?
So unlike the US, where it allows you to rent at a younger age, if you're younger than 25, then they add on an added cost for insurance purposes. With us right now, we're in talks with insurance industry to allow us to be able to do that. But right now, our minimum age is 25, because if we were to add on the cost, we wouldn't get any business from those younger than 25 anyway, right? So that is to come as well. Be on the lookout because we'll make an announcement on social media. But for right now, it is 25 or older.
All right, Michelle White's asking, any effort to have these cars solar powered?
So in the industry, there is a company called Aptera that is actually allowing, they're designing their own cars to have solar powered vehicles, which actually gets 1,000, they're rated up to 1,000 kilometer range, which is absolutely nuts and unbelievable. However, they are just entering into the manufacturing of those cars for regular use and purchasing, right? So when it comes to our cars having solar, no, but in the industry, there are cars that are coming out that will have solar.
All right. Before you go, you mentioned your social media. Just let people know how they can connect with you, website or social media.
Absolutely. Website is ruggedrentalsbda.com. Social media is Rugged Rentals Bermuda, either Instagram or Facebook, and our website. If you're looking to book for the long-term rentals, it's best to give us a call, 705-RENT or 705-7368. That way we can adjust the rate for the long-term customer.
All righty.
Nice.
Tallent Clark, Rugged Rentals. Thank you so much, man. Honestly, I love what you do. Entrepreneurship. I love it. And I'm not over your answer yet. Spoken like a true entrepreneur. Hey, you don't let your secrets out the bed. Always evolving, right? Always evolving. That's the purpose of entrepreneurship. It is always looking forward. We may not know what it is we're going to be doing next year this time, 5 years from now. But what we do know is we'll be working towards that. So congratulations to you guys breaking these barriers. And about that red tape, 7 years, man.
With every single hardship comes prosperity in my eyes, right? So that's all it was. I didn't take no for an answer. We constantly sat down at the table and along we went. Just to put in there real quick, March, we're providing a March Madness rate, $100 a day. Oh. Come one, come all. Test our vehicles, $100 a day. Let's have it.
One more quick question. Where can people like physical location? Just let them know where the physical locations.
Sure. Physical location is Tiger Bay in St. George's, and people's like, well, Tiger Bay. So yes, we're the new Temptations restaurant. Shout out to Temptations. I'm in there every day. But also in the big parking lot where Tiger Bay is where we're located. We do offer delivery service. For the first 3 eastern parishes is $50. For the central 3 parishes is $75, and for the western 3 parishes is $100, which includes pickup after you're done.
All righty. Thank you, my brother. Talk soon.
Thank you.
All
yes,
right.
gentlemen. Have a good one.
You too. Right. All right, folks, if you appreciated the conversation today, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Thank you. Rosalind Famous says thanks for the convo. Make sure you share these conversations. Bermuda, you have options. You have options. Stick with us. We're going to take a quick break. Come back, wrap it up, and also do the daily play. Do not go anywhere.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All right. Thanks again to Tallent TJ Clark from Rugged Rentals. Folks, thanks again to One Communications, Medical House, People's Pharmacy, and Lindell's for ensuring we can have these kind of conversations. If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share so that, you have an idea of, you have friends. Everyone's got friends that are looking to come to Bermuda. Hey, you don't want to take them everywhere, do you? But you want them to be safe. Put them in that vehicle. Get them a vehicle. Time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Burp, you ready?
I believe I am, sir.
All right, folks. This one annoyed me, and I said it the other day. This annoyed me, but if you are privileged enough to have my phone number, you know the answer to this because it was on my WhatsApp status.
Damn.
Who was the Bermuda's first black CPA?
Oh, Gene Atherton.
Yes. Hold on. Thank you. Much better. It was the Honorable Gene Atherton. That, you all don't understand how mad that made me finding that out on LinkedIn. So there was a LinkedIn post sharing that, honoring the Honorable Gene Atherton as the first CPA Bermuda ever had. And I was annoyed. I was annoyed because Bermuda is a majority black country. There are a number of people who've become CPAs that I know. I wonder how many of them even knew this. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot of politics at play as well. Because is it the political party she was involved in why we don't know her accomplishment professionally?
Yeah.
Folks, we need
That's the first thing I thought of when you go through the answer. I was like, because I didn't know that as well until You posted it the other day.
I was
But
so mad, and people might say, "Why are you mad at that?" Because it goes back to when I was telling you all about, my family Christmas dinner, holiday get together, whatever we want to call it, when I was in Bermuda in December, and my cousins, early 20s, had never heard of Bermuda Technical Institute. This is disturbing to me. It's disturbing to me. I mean, it's history plays a huge role. You don't think we're doing this because I was able to learn a bit about the Bermuda Recorder and how there were no Black media entities really making a difference in a country and community that's majority Black? You don't think I'm inspired by that? We're inspired by that to do this every day to ensure that we have a place and a platform?
Yeah.
Folks, everyone, not just CPAs, should understand the contributions of those who came before them and see how they can build on them. They should be probably seeking to have a conversation with Ms. Atherton to learn about her journey, challenges, triumphs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am bothered by it. I am bothered by it, and it tells me that I have work to do as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of work to do. So that's your daily play today, honoring today and every day the accomplishment of the Honorable Jean Atherton, who was the first Black person to receive a CPA, earn a CPA, first Black Bermudian. All right, let's wrap it up, Bert. Today's discussion, making Bermuda a safer place, and then obviously the conversation with Rugged Rentals, Tallent TJ Clark.
Yeah. As with the discussion, I think the community, whether we can take our hard line and come out of our comfort zone, and I think some hard decisions have to be made on a hill, myself included. I'm not trying to be separate from it. Rugged Rentals, love what they are doing, love that they're evolving. I myself was actually a person who was kind of on the fence with, I pretty much almost against the electric cars and whatnot, and a full 360 turn on board. Love to have more tourists off the mopeds and rentals. I'm actually one of those locals that will tell a tourist when I see them dodgy, look, float on. You're doing okay, but float on. Because at the end of the day, I'm not just gonna overtake and then, when someone's not on the road, it don't make sense beeping them down and stuff. All that said, Rugged Rentals, we love what you're doing. Sure, get those people in the electric cars, and it's a better option. It's just, it's cheaper. So let's get it in.
Yeah. I want to say this, the conversation about making Bermuda safer, I think that it's on all of us. We can all contribute. I just think we need to find a way. I think it was Rosalind Famous yesterday when we asked, what should be taught in schools? Empathy, right? We always think finances and different stuff, but empathy, it will go a long way in our community right now. Stop dismissing people because of what we think they are, who we think they are, and lose the fear of making a difference in someone else's life.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it really comes down to. We have got to lose the fear of trying to make a difference in someone else's life. As far as Tallent and Rugged Rentals, I appreciate it, and no one said it, but I'm going to say it and just be blunt. They're literally taking mopeds out of business, right? But think about what he set up for his entrepreneurship. If I owned a moped company 10 years ago, I should have been the one that was creating this option. And so it's a lesson in business, folks. It's like Uber and taxis, right?
Blockbuster and Netflix.
Yeah, like something comes along, but Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix, right? Taxis had the opportunity to get it right. So props to him, seeing the opportunity and sticking to the wicket, because a lot of people wouldn't have kept pushing for 7 years. Rep, you got some daily inspiration for us?
I do. I'm sticking with the Love Day theme. Just for you, Hartman. Your flaws are perfect for the heart that's meant to love you. That's from Trent Shelton, American football player.
Yeah, well, you know, my flaws. You gotta love me because I'm got flaw after flaw after flaw.
Nikki. Yeah.
Eric Simmons says, thank you for informing me of the Honorable Gene Atherton, first Black CPA in Bermuda. Yes, definitely. Thank you, Karen, because again, just on LinkedIn, I saw a post. Crazy enough, I'm going to share this publicly. Her daughter and I are friends, and her daughter saw my post on WhatsApp and, you know, celebrating it. And I'm going to tell her, I'm mad at you too. You ain't brag about your mama. You all better brag about your parents and the accomplishments to Bermuda and the community. All right, make sure you're registered to become a member of the TDH community. Just fill out the application on our website or on our website's thedailyhour.com for those who don't know, or you can just hit join on our YouTube channel. We have a lot of rewarding things happening. You don't want to miss out what we have going on this month, folks, in person, live and direct. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can have these conversations with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. He's Larry Marshall Jr. I'm Jamel Hartman. My friends, make it a safe and a great day. We are is out. Peace.